what's our opening frame? Is it this frame or
What? Can you see? Can you see yourself?
I can see you? I can see the godmother of AI, but let me see. This is what the public sees.
Go to YouTube because I just started streaming. Yeah, we have to pay rent because the Wi-Fi is actually working, Arvin.
Oh, it is. Finally.
I got
All right.
I got Obi-Wan Kenobi in the back.
Yeah, we better. Danny boy, what's up?
He can't hear you.
Oh, he can hear
I
me.
do know sign language.
He does no sign language. So if you want to bust out some 6, 7.
6, 7. All right.
All right, I gotta find my notes and then we can get started. My notes are somewhere. Where are they?
And we're already live, right?
Oh yeah, go check, man. Go check, please.
All right, that's all right.
Check, please, because I screwed this up.
This is the most unprofessional way to go live streaming. No, just fucking right to it, setting up while everything's going on.
Let's go, bro. Let's go. All right, so we're doing our live stream a week, not a week, a day early.
A day early.
Mr. Man is on his third continent. Mr. Arvin Abaka, who is our special guest on his third continent, he is traveling all over the place, making things happen, and he took time out of his busy schedule to join us on this live stream. So much appreciated to you. And today we're going to have a little debate, a little friendly debate. Incidentally, it's Thursday, December 18th. It is 1 week before Christmas, so, you know.
Oh, wow. Is it a week before Christmas?
1 week,
Yeah, that's
man.
right.
Exactly 1 week. It'll be Christmas Day. So,
Wow.
yeah. If you haven't gotten your presents already, man, what are you waiting
You
for?
better be good. Santa ain't gonna give you gifts, brother. You better keep the trifling.
Oh, I could
Well, if you're-
trifle, all right. I can
I can
trifle.
trifle.
All right. Did you check YouTube? Are we live?
Yes,
Does
yes,
it look
sir.
like
We are live, and yes.
All right. So this
I'm
episode
sure
is sponsored by
saying-
Corona. I got the shirt.
I'm
I got
sure that
the
our audience will be saying that these guys don't know shit when it comes to live streaming.
we don't.
That's right.
We absolutely don't. Especially
You
not
just
me.
go.
All right. Here's our intro. For decades, college was sold as the safest path to competence, credibility, and a good job. But the godmother of AI, Stanford professor Fei Li, says that bargain is breaking fast. Degrees matter less now than how quickly someone can learn, adapt, and build with AI. If the people inventing the future are hiring for tool fluency over diplomas, it raises an uncomfortable question. What is education actually certifying now? Okay, so let's take a look at this article real quick. The godmother of AI says your college diploma is losing power. Here's what she looks for instead. And the basic gist of what she says is that she hires for AI tool fluency and adaptability. And Silicon Valley companies are increasingly hiring candidates based on their AI skills. So I am going to, well, one more paragraph. Increasingly, founders and tech companies are judging talent by how quickly someone can learn, adapt, and build, not on how long they spent in a lecture hall, reshaping traditional pathways into the workforce. Now, we have talked about this topic in the past. We kind of have, you and I have kind of, we're sitting on opposite sides of the coin to a degree, because I kind of agree with what she's saying, but you still have a viewpoint of there's value in the traditional experience. So I'm going to open with a question.
Okay.
If college degrees really worked, why are so many graduates broke, anxious, and struggling to find work? Over to you. What do you think? Dropped a bomb on you, boy.
and you have to chug your beer while you ask me that question. So let me repeat the question if I understood it correctly. The question is, if college degrees are important, why are there still a lot of broke and unemployed college graduates today?
Yes, the vibe is that everyone is worried, they're anxious, they're struggling to find work. Entry-level jobs have disappeared for people who just have a college degree. So, you know, what is, I guess I'll reframe the question this way. if AI can already outperform the average college grad in writing, research, analysis, and even coding, what exactly is the value proposition of a college degree?
All right, then let's start. Let's break it down first, right? No one said getting a college degree is a surefire way to land your dream job or get a job at whatever Taco Bell or Mickey D's. Doesn't matter. No one ever marketed a college degree as like, okay, you go to college, you're gonna get your dream job. Maybe it was, I would say, in the early through the late '90s, but definitely in the 21st century, it wasn't that way. I mean, I haven't heard of it even back then. You go to college, you're guaranteed a job. So when you talk about unemployed college graduates, let's compare to what? Compare it to the unemployed population. How many people right now, whether they got college or not, or without college degrees, are unemployed, or unemployable, or unhireable, if that's a word? So I would assume I would make I wouldn't say a strong guess. The amount of college graduates that are unemployed versus the general population that's not actually working or that's unemployable or unhireable is significantly more than a college diploma holder.
Okay, I see.
Okay? I mean, I don't have. Okay, just let everybody know. I don't have the numbers or the facts to back that up. But just in the marketplace alone, the level of unemployment is. I would look at it as higher, as the number is higher with the people, the general population. I would say the non-college graduates.
I would say I understand what you're saying. Basically, and we could see it here, like, right? We could see in business as we travel in LA and we talk to people, we network, whatever. You know, most of the people that are employed in tech jobs, even sales and marketing jobs, they have a degree of some sort. They've gone through the college experience to some degree. I guess my thing is that's fine because, you know, we just entered this thing probably really only 6 months ago. So I think it's a slow ship to turn, a culture, a society, the slow big boat, and to turn that, it's going to take a while. So we're seeing the residual effects of culture for over 100 years of like, you go to college, that can give you a better future, and we're seeing that in play when we talk to people. And it's like, yeah, I went to Stanford, I went to Yale, I went to community college, whatever. Seems to have given us a leg up. However, what I'm talking about is now not 6 months ago. I'm talking about today. And I'm just wondering, in a world where 6 months ago your skills that were relevant are today almost irrelevant because a machine can do it better, does a 4-year traditional curriculum still make structural sense, or is it just cultural inertia, and should we revisit this entire process?
I mean, that's a good point. That's a great question. But let's not forget also AI, right? What is the foundation of AI? It's the transformer, correct?
Correct. Of the modern LLM, transformer is the basis of the architecture. There's other kinds, but transformers, yes.
The modern LLM transforms the basis of that AI.
Yes.
Let's not forget the transformer was a product of the academia world. That was a product of a white paper written by a researcher who went to college, who took their doctorate's degree and took a PhD. So all of this is a product of still the traditional academia world, and it was a byproduct of a white paper, which makes me believe if any credible researcher out there right now with a PhD, went to college, doctor's degree, and all of that, writes another white paper, let's say talking about the dark side of AI and how it will hurt us more than it will help us in the future, then all of this will be gone in a minute, because all the companies when they saw that white paper written by that researcher, they all invested based on that white paper anyway.
Sure.
So let's not forget that the transformer on the large language model is a byproduct of the academia world, which still went to college, still took their PhD, still took their doctorate degree.
Right. So yeah, if I'm hearing you correctly, the academia produced this technology, which is threatening to replace academia, but that, I guess, knowledge bank or that knowledge store, which is found in the university, and that research in an environment did lead to this technology.
Well, let me ask you this. Since we're saying that the 4-year course, your side is saying the 4-year course may need to make some changes. I agree. Changes needs to happen.
Yeah.
But today, as of today, what do you think are the college degrees that still matter in an AI world?
That's a good question. I think mathematics.
Okay. Math I agree, math.
Computer science.
Computer science.
But not specifically coding anymore, right?
Right.
Because the AIs do it very fast, and by the time if you start today, in 4 years, the AIs will become the senior engineers. So you won't need that senior engineer verifying code because the AI is going to be so developed that you won't need humans doing it. However, for system architecture, for putting things together, I think that's still where a computer science degree makes sense. So the architecting and figuring out, the whole world.
You're talking about the hardware network.
The hardware, and also the nodes, the components, how to route traffic and things like that. So I think still that's a valuable degree. And then for pure non-economic purposes, but more for like the development of your personality, of your general, thing.
That's different. I'm just talking about in the AI world now.
Okay, in the AI world, yeah. Computer science and math. That's it.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay. Well, you're missing out a whole lot there, brother.
What would you say?
This question then. What is AI or generative AI or AI in general trying to do anyway right now? What's it trying to do?
Depends on which field, but generally it's replacing humans. It's replacing, not really replacing humans. It's replacing the menial, repetitive things that humans do that can be automated and making it more efficient.
Okay. I will agree with you. It replaces the task that takes a human 4 hours to do what can be done in an hour, like replying to emails.
Sure.
Right. So basically, in layman's term, in my language, you're telling me AI is there the purpose of AI is to replace tasks that a human does, even on a low level, even on a high level.
Knowledge work, research.
Knowledge work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Coding.
Which means AI is studying how humans think, correct?
Sure.
So wouldn't you think philosophy will be in demand? Because philosophy is the courses that we hated back in college before, which never brought us significant dollars, like philosophy, psychology.
Good night.
Good night, Kate.
Arvin says good night. Yeah.
One more time. So the courses that we hated back in the day that never brought any significant dollars.
Sorry, that was Jerry saying stay in school. Sorry.
Stay in school, exactly. The course that we hated back in the day, which never brought significant dollars, like philosophy, psychology, English majors.
The humanities.
All of those are just basically, I call them your party. This is my personal opinion. They're your party courses. You just take them because you just got to be in college.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm going to be an accountant. I don't know if I'm going to be in finance. But my parents wants me to go to college. I'll take these 3 courses, one of those 3, and I can still party on like it's like a rock star.
Right.
But all those courses actually speaks to the human intellect: philosophy, psychology, English, which is mostly of what an English major, or literature. anything that's human. So don't you think those courses are still in demand today if AI is trying to replace a human? AI is trying to study humans.
But do you have to go to college to get that information? Can't you just ask AI to teach me all about Socrates or Shakespeare or whatever?
How would you know? How would you know your philosophy or your psychology that's given on AI is not if the one working on AI right now is an accountant like myself or like you, then we're fucked. I'm gonna say, you know what? Let's be real. It's still a person. The AI models right now, the LLMs, special LLMs right now, take into account the character of the person building it.
Sure, the bias. There's a bias.
There's still a bias.
Yeah.
So I don't believe in work-life balance. So if I'm gonna teach philosophy or psychology, then it's gonna say like, fuck that shit. I mean, there's no work-life balance.
Just work. It's just work.
It's just work. If you own your business, you're working 24/7.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat. Yeah. So we would be just massively efficient people.
Then if you're the student learning philosophy or psychology, and my train of thought is like, you know what, there's no work life, but then you're screwed. So how would you know that's correct?
Good point. Okay. So I guess to summarize what you're saying and to kind of reframe it concisely, there is a value in getting the humanities education from a live human being because you're dealing with subtle things like human emotion, mind, beauty, aesthetics, things which are hard to quantify.
What do we like to see? What's visually appealing to us? And that's what AI is trying to learn, right? That's why we're saying an AI can create a marketing video, can create an ad, but those ad campaigns and marketing videos are based on what the segment or the market views as visually appealing.
Right. So so let's go back to the business world. So let's say you study those things, right? We're talking mostly about getting hired. The whole purpose of this is Silicon Valley hired. So if you're studying humanities, you're studying psychology, psychiatry, whatever the hell. Well, not psychiatry, that's the medical field. Let's say you're studying, sociology, philosophy, political science, blah, blah, blah. How does that translate to a job in the coming world? How does that give you an advantage in the coming world as opposed to hunkering down and just diving straight into AI tools, mentors, and real world building?
Okay, I never said you don't learn the AI tools. What I'm saying is, if you have a degree in psychology or philosophy, how it helps you, it actually gives you an advantage in getting a job in this space, because now, if you're working for an LLM or you're hired by, let's say, what's Elon Musk lab, Neuralabs or Neuralink, whatever,
yeah.
You still need a philosophy major or a psychology major because you're trying to make that AI think and act like human.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
Right?
Now it's making sense.
Psychology, I'm sure those psychology majors, they don't only have a college degree, they probably also have a doctor's degree now. They have a PhD. So if I'm trying to make AI think and respond like a human, then it should learn from a human, not any, I guess, it could be any human, but someone that has studied the psychology of man, which is a psych major, philosophy. That's all how we think over time or back in history.
But it still applies back to AI. It still applies back to, you need to study this subject so that you can train the AI or manage the AI or direct the AI.
Manage the AI. Yeah. Okay. Right? Because in AI, you may have all these AI agents or LMs, but you still need an orchestrator. An orchestrator is still a human being.
Sure.
So that's, if I'm right now, if I'm in college right now going through philosophy or psychology or humanities, I even took humanities when I was in college because, like I said, it was a party course. Like if I'm sure people will react to this, but when I took humanities, the only reason why I took that because it was easy, and I know I can party every day and not fail. Exactly. So obviously I shifted courses midstream, but that was my point.
Okay.
So I would say it gives me advantage today that I'm in these courses. If I'm going to be done this year or next year, then I'm I wouldn't say I'm guaranteed. I would say I have a higher chance of being hired in Silicon Valley based off what I have learned traditionally in college,
Okay.
which is like a psych major or philosophy major or humanities, whatever the case is.
Okay. All right. Now, I'm not sure that I fully buy it, but I hear what you're saying.
Of course you don't. That's the whole point of this conversation.
Here's what I would say. Because you got me thinking in a direction which I like, which is you need almost like a checks and balances. You need the guy who studied these works to be able to communicate to the teams that are building these tools to keep things grounded in human reality and what we value as human beings. So that's where the humanities degree I could see as valuable. However, does the 4-year model still make sense? Because I don't think it does. I'm hearing what you're saying. I'm hearing what you're saying with the humanities.
It makes sense in terms of what?
The expense and the useless extra crap you have to study to earn your degree, to certify that you are an educated person, right? I think maybe if you studied your specialty or whatever you were into 1 or 2 years, almost like an AA, is sufficient as opposed to this whole rigmarole. But again, I'm interested in efficiency. I'm interested in cutting expense and waste, and I just want people to kind of get to what their mission is, as opposed to dilly-dallying for 4 years and incurring $100,000 worth of debt.
Okay.
Do you see any way that the system can be modified where it's both productive in a sense that you're educating people in the humanities, but you're also speeding up the process or getting them more, I guess, marketable as job seekers?
Okay. If you're framing your question, your argument from that standpoint, then you're correct, right? I also don't believe spending 6 digits on a college degree. But let me ask you this. Does it all have to be in a university setting? Can we get a 4-year degree in a community college? I think where the argument really is, people are saying college is too expensive. In my head, who the fuck told you to go to Harvard anyway and spend $200,000 or $500,000 there when you can get accounting in I don't know, Northridge Community College or
which doesn't exist, by the way. The college does not exist. We'll start it. Me and you will start it. You'll be the dean.
I'm just saying I don't want to disparage any
right.
in our neighborhood. But you can. Who said you spend $500,000, $900,000 in debt going to all these universities when you can still get the same accounting course or I don't know, English major in Northridge College? It's the same way I look at it. My analogy there is based on the same way we buy medicine, right? Sure. Antibiotics by Pfizer is more expensive versus a generic brand, but they still have the same components.
Yeah, exactly.
It's still antibiotic.
That's just marketing. So colleges are just doing a really good job of marketing with their campuses and their Ivy. I walked all through UCLA.
It's not really about it. It's not a question about is it not needed or needed. It's just really, you're right. They're good in marketing because we tend to this university is charging $200,000. Maybe I should go there.
Right. Now, and also, you went to Vanderbilt for nursing. You went to UCLA for medicine. Like, you must be really good, you know?
I would say, though, you're right. I would say, though, and again, this is my opinion. I would say, though, I will not discount the so-called brand names out there, right? Like Harvard, Stanford, Yale, Columbia. I wouldn't discount them. But if I'm on a player on a budget, right? If I'm balling on a budget, right? If I'm balling on a budget, I'll stick my ass in community college for 4 years in our Northridge, so-called Northridge College. Pay, I don't know, 40, 50 grand, get my foundation. If I'm going to be an accountant, get my foundation in accounting there, right? Because again, it's the same accounting principles that's going to be taught in Northridge College versus Yale. It's the same.
Right.
But today, though, where you spend your money with those branded names is when you're trying to move already into higher education programs. Not really to learn more about accounting, but really more to actually use it as a networking tool.
Right. And to prove yourself
Right.
as a researcher in the graduate programs, right? To do your
Exactly.
thesis. Right.
Exactly. That's that. I would map out that route that way.
Okay. That makes sense. All right. I'll give you points for that. That's a good one.
Oh no! Yes, we got a point.
All right. So I think we've reached kind of a consensus where there's still value in it. We need to restructure it. We need to strategize a little bit differently. I tend to be more of the skip it and just build right away, but that might not be for everyone. Some people might not have my disposition, and that's fine. Different strokes for different
Well,
folks.
not everybody is a savant like you, Willie. Okay. Most people need structure in their life. You need structure on how to have a live stream perfectly done.
Yeah, I still haven't figured that out. I'm always late. I don't even know if this is gonna work well, but we'll see. Okay, so let's move on from after college. Let's talk about the people that have already gone through that cycle. Okay. They're in the workforce. They're hearing all this news about AI taking jobs, and it is real, and it's going to get, I think 2026 is going to be chaotic. Personally, I think it's going to be kind of bad. But let's ground this in reality. If, let's say you were consulting a company to rebuild today or to prepare themselves for the future, they've come to you and be like, hey, this AI stuff, we don't even know what the hell is going on, but we need help. We know we need to adopt it, but we're not sure. What's the first role that you would advise them to practically replace or augment with AI this month?
Oh, that's a good question. Hold on, let me wipe my glasses first. My eyes. That's a good question. No, I say that's a good question because this is real time. Okay, obviously, our business we're in the advisory services space, right? We advise and the board of companies and businesses in the U.S.
Sure.
So that same question was posed to us. Obviously, I won't mention any client's name because we're still in contract.
Okay.
On what role or when we are to implement AI. So I would say first, and this is our one of our strategies, and we'll share it here. If the company head or the CEO of the company or anybody in the firm, anybody that makes a decision, any decision maker, it could be CEO, CFO, CMO, controller, whatever the case is not well versed in AI. Because most of the businesses right now, especially in the small, medium enterprise level, are not really aware or they know about AI, but they don't know how to use that in their current setting. So I always say there's two ways. One is supporting your BAU, which is your business as usual. Nothing changes in your business environment, business as usual. And there's disrupting your BAU, disrupting your business as usual environment. I will not advise on disrupting your BAU right away. In fact, what we're presenting to the board is you support your business using AI. A simple example would be not even AI. It's just automate your invoicing, or maybe automate some of your. Most companies right now have info at Willie Pena. Like if they inquire, if someone sends an email, right? Then maybe automate your response on those type of emails. Automate first. So basically, you're using AI or automation to support your current business unit. Okay. First, when you are comfortable doing that, then now you can move into the part wherein it's time to disrupt whatever we're doing and do things differently or better. Because it's hard to disrupt a business setting, especially if you have been ingrained in that business for over a decade. Hell,
Yes.
even a 2-year business owner will have a hard time adapting to AI. But I would say though, if you're 5 years under in your business, it's easy to disrupt everything you have because you're only barely 5 years. But again, that's a subjective. That's subjective. That depends on who the owner is, who the manager is. But I would approach it that way. I would say support. I wouldn't even take out any role. So to answer your question, I wouldn't eliminate any role yet, but I would automate some of the things that we do.
So basically, examine your operation, see where you can introduce efficiencies using AI, whether that be, even writing emails. That's a very basic thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you get your grammar right, you get your spelling right, you're not going to do some goofy thing. Just that can save you at least half an hour to an hour a day right there, right?
Yeah.
Just that one little thing. And then you can
and I'll share to you too, Willie. Right now I'm working on that, automating my email responses. Right, I'm working. I'll be implementing that pretty soon. But we're working on automating my email responses, and the other part we're in. Let's say you email me back, hey Arv, let's have a meeting on Thursday or Friday at 6:30. That gets to my calendar already automatically when that right. So for me personally, in my business, I'm getting that automation part done. I'm starting there. So that's why I say, like, start first with things that you can easily, I would say, easily give up for now or delegate to AI.
Sure.
Start with automating, and that's where I usually would tell people to start, or business owners where to start.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I agree. You can't overhaul everything and introduce chaos. I mean, we all know that when a new CEO takes over and he just kind of new broom sweeps clean type of thing, things get wrecked, right? So the smart operator goes in and observes, just doesn't change anything, observes, and then starts to introduce efficiencies, and then eventually you can make that sea change and take the company in a new direction. So same thing with AI. It's just a good best practice to do anything that way. Okay, so let's talk about the skills for this post-degree workforce is what is being referred to. And I'm going to run them through, and after I read all 5,
your screen?
I'm not.
Are you sharing your screen?
Let me see if I can. I don't think I can here.
That's fine. We'll keep the godmother of AI on there, the Business Insider page.
Let me see if I can move it over. Hang on. Are we seeing anything good here? Did I ruin everything? I think I ruined everything. I ruined everything.
You did.
I did. I do this all the time. I'm the worst at this live stream stuff. Hang on. Let me see if I can get this back. All right, where's us? Oh, your meet call is in another window. Bring the call back here. Hey, okay, we're back. Yeah, I better not try to do that again. I break
okay,
things.
guys, we are so sorry. Homeboy over here hasn't figured out.
What? I'm gonna just ask Gemini. Please teach me this stupid app so I can learn how to do this properly. All right, so I'm going to read them off. These are me and the ChatGPT and Gemini sat down and we debated a little bit, and these are the ones that we came up with. The top 5 skills for the post-degree workforce. Number 1 is AI tool fluency. That's number 1. You know that one of the things that makes me very competitive is that I know all these things, bro. You know that. You know that you're always asking me, what does this do? What does that do? And I'm always like, this does that, because I know these tools and I work with these tools every single day and I research them every single day. So I think skill number 1 is knowing the tools as an operator. So the actual ability to use AI tools daily to produce outputs, which means research, drafts, analysis, automation, decisions. What this looks like in practice is knowing which model tool to use for which task. And I think I really need to build a course, maybe with your help, to show people which model tool to use for which task.
Oh my God. Okay, can I make a comment there? Can I make a comment there
Yes,
first before you
please.
proceed? Everyone that's listening, okay? That comment was made to him in the beginning of this year before we even got deeper into this AI conversation.
I procrastinated a little bit.
Let's put it on record. A human being suggested that to Willie, not Gemini, not ChatGPT, Grok, Claude, whatever other AI tool. That wasn't suggested. It was a human being who suggested that. So let's be clear.
Yes.
Go ahead. Let's say that.
Yes. Thank you for suggesting that and keeping suggesting that, because you pretty much tell me every 2 weeks to do that. So I'll probably have to do that. Then iterating fast. So that's another thing. It's like speed. All of our speed has to increase. And then using AI as a collaborator, not a magic button. So that follows all into the AI tool fluency, which is knowing the tools, iterating with them fast, getting them to create business valuable things, or if it's personal, something personally valuable, solving a personal problem, and then using it as a collaborator, not something which is like, well, it didn't fix my car. Oh, it didn't fix my hernia. Or so it's like, you know, people tend to think it's like this magic button. It's not. Okay. The next skill, would you agree that that's a primary skill, first of all? I want agreement or disagreement.
Yeah, AI tools fluency, yes. I agree.
Okay. The next
if
thing,
you are going to be in this space, and if you are going to be if these are the jobs or careers that you want to pursue, then yes, you got to be fluent with these tools. Just like if you want to work in America, you got to be fluent in English.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. All right, the next one, and this one goes back to what you were saying about college and kind of that critical thinking thing. But this is a very important skill, and I think AI is going to help us surface this. It's called problem framing and decomposition. And I have said this to you, and you kind of disagreed with me, but I'm going to say the pithy statement of, if you knew what was wrong with you, it wouldn't be wrong with you, because you would have already figured out a formula or something to solve it. So it would no longer be wrong with you. It would be something you'd be working to solve. And you know what I'm saying? Like you could say, oh, the problem with this company is it has no revenue. That's not the problem. The problem actually is that you've got no marketing team or something like that, or no sales team, right? So problem framing and decomposition.
No, I disagreed with that. I don't disagree with that. I agree with that.
Well, I didn't frame it the way I just framed it. I framed it.
It's a question framing problem.
Yes. Yes. Okay, so let me continue reading. AI is powerful, but is dumb about what matters. Humans still win at defining the real problem, breaking vague goals into executable steps, and translating business pain into solvable tasks. So, the highest value people aren't doing the work. We all know that. They're deciding what work should be done. Now, the only translation is they're deciding what work should be done using AI. So this is where the orchestrator, the manager, the project manager thought comes in, as far as like, okay, we have all this stuff. What are we going to do with this business? What are we going to do with this specific problem? How do we frame it so that we can attack it with these tools? And that is a skill that not a whole lot of people have, because they'll tend to attack wrong targets. They'll tend to attack things which don't surface. And AI can solve a million things, but you need to direct it towards that. What is your thoughts about that skill number 2?
Okay. Let me pause for 2 seconds and let me frame my thoughts. Okay.
Yeah.
So let me just recap what
and first of all, is it even possible for people to even learn the skill, or is it something innate? Like, it's kind of a broad thing, and it's almost like
okay,
CEOs can do this, I guess, but
so that's an underlying issue. So let's start just like AI, right? When we prompt our AI, we have the AI answer or figure out the underlying issues first before they provide their answers or give their suggestions.
Yep.
What you just described on, yes, I agree with AI fluency on tools, what to use, especially if you want to be hired or you want to work in the space full-time, 24/7 or 9 to 5, yes, you got to be fluent with the tools. Number two, you're right. I agree. It's how you frame the problem, because AI cannot figure out what the problem is till you frame it properly or provide more context to AI.
Correct.
Right. Now, they're important. I think what's missing there is really has nothing to do with AI. Let's think about it this way. The difference between AI and a chatbot or those past technology. In the past technology is based on rules, right? A chatbot is based on rules that you give. AI is not based on rules. AI is results oriented. They don't care if you go through Mount Everest to get the answer, but you get the answer at the end of the day.
Sure.
It's not rule based, it's results based. So if AI is results based, then the question really is, what does the leader or the company owner want to happen in their business? So now it is really more of a question, has nothing to do with AI. It's more of a question of leadership. What does the leadership structure or the executive team want to happen? What results are they looking for? More revenue, more clients, less expenses, lean workforce. What else? Expansion in another
market or whatever. Yeah.
Expanding in a foreign market, closing down a facility in one market. So those are all executive choices or decisions that needs to be made by either the executive team or the CEO. So I would say it's a leadership problem, because the leadership has to figure out what the results are first. If I say I want to shut down my factory in the Philippines, for example, I'm gonna shut that down. So what's the cost, and what will that happen to my entire business unit if I shut down the factory in the Philippines? What's the results? What will happen? What are the results that I will get from that? Or what's the downside risk if that happens? Once I make that decision, like I want to shut down my factory in the Philippines, then all the AI fluency tools that's available will help me get to that result with minimizing downside risk on my U.S. operations. So I'm trying to be very clear here. You start first with the strategy and where the leadership team wants to go. Then your AI tools will adjust to where the leaders wants to go.
Right.
So from that perspective, it is really not a technology game anymore. It is a business game.
Mm-hmm.
AI shouldn't be treated as a tech game. It should be treated as a business game wherein, okay, I want to do this. I want to shut down my factory in the Philippines, but what will happen to my U.S. operations?
Brilliant.
And that's where I bring in AI.
That's a great point. That's a great way to frame it. And this goes to all the people who are like, I hate AI. I'm never going to use AI. I can't tell you how many times I've heard people say, I'm never going to use AI. I'm like, first of all, it's inevitable. But number two, it's not even a matter of the tech. It's exactly what you said. It's a business problem that we're now solving more efficiently with these systems. Speaking of systems, the next part is automation thinking and system building, which means thinking in systems, which we already kind of touched on this. We don't need to beat this one to death, but what can be automated, what repeats, where does information flow break? So simple workflows, connecting tools instead of manually doing tasks, turning one-off effort into repeatable machines, and so on. So this is the world I'm currently exploring right now, because I think I have 1 and 2 pretty good. This one is still where I'm delving into building agents, building automations, and learning system architecture. As an example, what I'm trying to build now with the use of these tools is a vector database which has the personalities of my IP. For example, Serene.
Right.
All her personality, all her quirks, how she responds. And then this thing, this is nuts if I get it to work. It's going to monitor Reddit. It's going to monitor social media. And as soon as there's a post that kind of indicates, say somebody's talked about their dreams, it's going to go and the system is going to go to the brain, Serene's personality, figure out what Serene would say about that, and automatically respond without me having to be there.
That's that's an example of wherein you know what results you want to have. You know what, as a business owner, this is what I want to happen. So you're using all the tools available to affect that change, or have that results come to fruition.
Right. So the systems thinking is I think is the part where leaders need to kind of maybe adapt a little bit more, because I'm having a little bit of a challenge of it, and I'm relatively intelligent.
And you want to hear something that that will provoke most people?
Yeah.
AI shouldn't be under the purview of your IT department.
I agree. They should check to make sure you're not using it wrong, and that they
you have your IT department to make sure all the it's working, the system is there, but where that AI tool is going to be deployed is not a decision your IT department has to make. It is your decision, because you're the one who understands. Okay, these are the results I want. I want it to go to Serene and this and that, and all the IT has to do is to actually make sure those tools are used to.
They're connected, exactly. That they work. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Good point. All right. So that's skill number 3. Skill number 4. And this is where currently I think humans are just the best. We're never going to be replaced here, probably, but we're good. Judgment, taste, and verification. So AI can generate infinite output, but humans are still needed to decide what's good, what's trash, what's true versus what's plausible sounding nonsense, what aligns with goals, brands, ethics, or reality. So here's a good line. As output becomes cheap, discernment becomes expensive. This is where senior level value lives. What?
Where are you reading this off?
From my notes. From my notes.
From your notes.
Yeah, I wrote these.
What you just said there, my friend, can you repeat the last statement again? The last sentence, can you repeat that again?
Okay. As output becomes cheap, discernment becomes expensive. This is where senior level value lives. So that judgment, it costs nothing to generate the stuff, but where is the value? Where are the good gold nuggets for us to use in all this cheap AI output?
Okay, isn't that a role of a college degree holder of psychology?
You were just waiting to throw that at me.
This is not scripted. I was just sitting there, okay.
You were waiting to be like, bam, buddy. No, that's great. That's a great point. That's a perfect point.
I get 3 points, brother. I get 3 points.
Yeah, that is a good point, and that brings us back to that liberal arts, humanities, college experience. That is a place right there where Arvin's pro-college point makes sense.
Well, yes, I mean, at the end of the day, let's say in a world that we live in, there's how many billions of people? How many people are in LA alone? 200 million?
No, in LA there's 20 million. 20 million.
20 million. So I went over 0. So 20 million people in LA. 20
million, 200 million. It feels like there's 5 billion, so it's okay.
And usually we would meet these people in our adult life. Because your high school friends, they're either nowhere to be found or they live in different places now. Let me ask, and I ask this to everybody: how would you determine a person's character, or if they can see this project through, if you're only meeting them in your 30s or in your 40s? And I'm not saying it's a guaranteed, a surefire answer or filter, but going through college, knowing that you went to college for 4 years and sat your ass in numerous classes which you hated, but you actually you found a way to pay for it, tells me a little bit about you, that you're willing to see this through the end. Because not everything in our life, right, it's gonna be all roses and peaches.
Right.
You have to sit through classes like that. Like, I don't know, like in my case, I could name a bunch of classes I hated, but I had to sit there like sociology. I hated sociology, but I sat there and hated. But so that I would say I'm just coming on my personal point of view. It's like how can I gauge you, right, or somebody unless we spend more time together like what we're doing right now. But if we don't have that, and how can I say, okay, is this person really going to see this through? I mean, I'm only meeting you in my 30s, even late 40s.
Yeah, you don't have enough context. So the college degree gives you some context as to the person.
It gives me a little. I wouldn't say a lot, but it gives me a little context about. Okay, I know this guy will see this through. You know, it gives me a little information to go work on it and run with it because it gives me okay. This guy took a 5-year course, finished it, then maybe he has the potential to finish this project of mine with him. I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but it gives me a little bit of confidence too. Like, okay, this dude can probably finish this. Okay. That's how I look at it, right? I'm not saying a lot, but I'm just saying if you take everything out, then maybe that gives me a little confidence. Okay, this dude did this. Unless, like I said, we spend time together. That's why there's a lot of money and time invested in all these networking events, the paid networking events.
Yeah,
right. They're not college, right? Right. Like we pay to get into this networking event because you want to be in a qualified market. What does a qualified market mean? It means these are people that are serious and committed in whatever they're doing.
Correct.
That's the same thing with college.
True. Yeah, they have skin in the game, right? They got skin in the game.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so skill number 5, and this is, to me, the number 1 skill, is learning velocity.
What's that?
Okay, the real skill isn't knowing X. It's learning X faster than others. So, picking up new tools quickly, letting go of obsolete skills, updating your mental models without ego. Okay? Why does this matter? Because in a world where tools change every 6 to 12 months, like we've been talking about, even faster now, it's like every month, things undergo a sea change. Adaptability beats expertise. That's a controversial statement. It's how I operate. Adaptability beats expertise. Degrees lock you into the past. Learning velocity keeps you relevant. That's a little bit controversial, but that's where I'm going to go with it because I know a lot of crap. I know a lot of stuff. I have expertise in a lot of fields, but right now it does me no good. What is doing me good, what's helping me put food on my table is I'm adaptable, highly adaptable, and I learn fast. And that, thank God, knock on wood, I was blessed with that or something. But that is a skill I think you can learn. And if you use these tools like Gemini and Notebook LM, your learning accelerates. So that to me is probably of all these skills, the number 1. What are your thoughts?
Oh no! I mean, I'm not going to argue against you with that. I agree 100%. I don't have to argue. I don't have to be on this side of the fence. I agree with you 100%. Adaptability. Adaptability beats speed. Adaptability beats trying to be perfect. Like when we say we gotta go to market with the minimum viable product and perfect that product as we go. But it has to be viable initially,
right?
But that's have to be the best product. So yes, adaptability, and I would even add there adaptability and availability is the skill set that we both that everybody needs to have. Because if you're not adaptable and you're not available, then I'm going to go to the next guy.
Sure.
Or next person. I agree with you. 100%.
Okay, perfect. So we're going to wrap this up because we've been talking for almost an hour. I think the consensus is, okay, college does have value. The education part has value. We can reframe the actual structure of it. Doesn't have to be Harvard or whatever. I think even for a lot of people,
Northridge
Community College coming online September 2026. But my caveat is, because I'm going to concede that to you, is that you need to use these 5 tools or get your college education with these 5 skills in mind. Yes. AI tool fluency, problem framing and decomposition, system building, judgment, taste, and verification, and learning velocity and adaptability. What do you think?
I agree 100%.
Okay, we're friends still. Look at that. Okay, this has been a special edition of This Week in AI News with my friend Arvin Abaca with MVP Team Provider. That's mvpteamprovider.com. This man's all over the place. He's making moves. He's connecting with very important people. I'm blessed to have him as a friend. And, every couple of weeks we get on and let off some steam and have a little debate. And hopefully you guys learn something. So thank you very much for joining us. Arvin, anything you want to say before we sign off?
No, thank you everyone for joining us and listening to this live stream. I know we could have done better with Willie here, but that's the nature of the beast. We just, like I said, we go to market. We'll figure out how to make the live stream later on.
This is a minimum viable product.
Minimum viable product. You got the content, and hope you guys enjoyed our little debate here. But thank you, Willie, for getting me on this call. And we'll see you guys next week.
All right, man. Peace out.
Later, dude.